Yeah. Anyway, so we'll move on from that because I want to talk to you about some Ninth Doctor news because Christopher Eccleston has been, unfortunately for him, probably having to speak about Doctor Who to no end of escape the last couple of weeks. And if you bought the Big Finish audio version, you will have noticed that there was a bonus track at the end, which is bonus material, interviews with cast and crew and that kind of stuff. And in that, he spoke about how he sort of became familiar with Doctor Who as a kid and how he loved it because it was black and white and it looked creepy. And during this interview, he spoke about how he wished that when he was the Doctor, they had done an episode in black and white because he thinks that would have really have caught the scariness of that original series, original series, even if we're going back to Troughton and Hartnell. What do you think about that? I feel that would be a really fun idea.
That is actually a really cool idea because part of the thing is when you look at kind of Doctor Who in like the 60s and then also compare it to Doctor Who in the 70s, kind of Pertwee where it's first went into colour. In a lot of ways, the 60s stuff visually has aged a lot better than the 70s stuff.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is because it's in black and white. And when it comes to black and white, there's much more room to kind of disguise those imperfections. And there's also kind of more kind of ambiguities to what you're seeing. Yeah. I feel like that can really feed into kind of like the mystery and the kind of almost the pseudo horror elements of Doctor Who. So I feel like, it's kind of surprising now I think about it, the show hasn't really played up to its roots and done something black and white. The closest thing I can think of is kind of the black and white TVs in the Idiot's Lantern or something like that. I can't think. They've never done a full-on black and white version. That's weird.
And it would have worked really well with
fun to do.
Doctor as well. That would have been a really good Doctor to do it with. I can't really see it working with Tennant or Smith, possibly with Capaldi, but not with Whittaker.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
If you had to pick an episode of Eccleston to turn black and white to sort of do that sort of style with, what are you thinking? I've got my two options, but I want to know what yours are.
Trying to think. I feel like I want something that feels close to classic Who. Maybe because so much of the story comprises of kind of like a spaceship and kind of an industrial corridors and such. Maybe something like The Long Game in black and white, that would have added an interesting flavour to that.
Yeah, perhaps, yeah.
I'm not sure. Or maybe
thinking, The Unquiet Dead or Dalek.
Okay. I have another thought. It would also require rewriting, but what if Bad Wolf was reworked? So instead of it being a satire of kind of, well, at the time, modern shows of the time, like Big Brother and Weakest Link, what if it was done with like a retro 60s aesthetic? And then kind of like loads of scenes of it, maybe not the whole thing, but lots of scenes we saw through these kind of 60s style TV monitors.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, that would be fun. But I think there's a lot of stuff that in hindsight you could have really played with if you knew how successful the series was going to be. But I guess at the same time, you don't want to do that first series and really go left wing sort of. When I say left wing, I mean like really off kilter, do something nobody was expecting, go the other side and really sort of handbrake turn it.
Yeah. I guess they kind of wanted to keep things. They didn't want to lean too much into the legacy of the show at that point. It was only with the subsequent series that they started to, do stuff like bring back Sarah Jane and K9 and really kind of acknowledge the legacy of the show. Once they kind of had the foundation of, okay, people are into Doctor Who again.